Welcome to the King and Chapman Show. Today is Wednesday, July 10th. I am Brent Chapman, and with me from Plano East High School, weighing in at 6'5", 210 pounds, the original Fab One, number 24, Jimmy.
That's the fadeaway right there. That's the best intro I've ever had in my life. Way to hype me up, B. I'm so ready. I'm so ready today, right now. I feel like I could get you buckets today.
That was like a combo.
Hey, I might get up and down the court 4 times today.
Jimmy, that was like a combo basketball wrestling ring announcement with the weight and the height. By the way, that's Jimmy's listed height weight from
That's right. I always wanted to be listed lower than my actual height. Everybody out here cheating on their height. So I walk out on the court. I'm bigger than you think.
Than they expect.
Yeah, I'm bigger than you think.
Jimmy, I got to bring this up to kick off the show. In the last show, we were talking about LeBron James and Bronny, and you brought something up that after we got off the air that I think was so cool. So, one, Jimmy showed me he found his original rookie Raptors number 24 jersey with the big raptor on the front, which is awesome.
Sweat and stank on it and everything.
Which is awesome, and I'm going to wear that one of these days, Jimmy. Don't wash it. I like the stank. It's a 30-year stank is the best. Second, Jimmy was the second ever pick of the Raptors, which I didn't know. But most importantly, and why it relates to the conversation we were having, Jimmy set the trend for Bronny. Jimmy was the first ever player second round to have a guaranteed contract. First, Bronny got 7.9 guaranteed. I suspect he didn't get 7.9 guaranteed. Probably the number one pick in the draft didn't get $7.9 million. Because the salaries, there's a bit of inflation in 2024 amongst the salaries. But wow, that's pretty cool, Jimmy. Anything to add to that?
Great, just great. Great representation. And the Poston brothers, Kevin and Carl Poston, shout out to them. And to Isaiah Thomas, who was in the middle of the negotiations and knew my worth and paid me what he felt my worth was. So that was also a great confidence builder and kind of a shot for us in the family.
Do you think, Jimmy, when somebody does something like that kind of, not cocky, not arrogant, but you said it, confident, makes you think, hey, they want me on this team, right?
I belong. I'm a part, I'm not an outsider. Right? It's official. That's how you want to feel about it. And that's what it feels like. You sign a contract and it's like, okay, it's not it's not a dream anymore. It's reality. It's not, you're not hoping for it. It's actually solidifying a done deal. So that's the the kind of beauty that you feel, the love and that you get from it is like all the hard work that you've done over the years, and finally you can reap some benefits from it.
That's the nice thing, I think, for the players with the guaranteed contracts is that it is the reward, right? Of the, hey, it's some money that's guaranteed. It's up front, right? I do believe you got to prove it too. But really, like you said in the last show, yeah, Bronny's got $7.9 million. So what? His dad's made $500 million. Like, he's got a bunch more contracts to go to prove he belongs, right? So it's great for the kids, but it's great for the families, but you still got to prove it to get the real money. So it's good. It's I think it works out to do it that way. So thank you, Jimmy, for setting that trend, and thanks to your agents, because no, it's important, because without that, these kids aren't getting this opportunity, right? Somebody has to be first,
Absolutely.
right? Being first isn't easy.
You want to
It's a
knock,
lot of
yeah,
work. So,
yeah. You want to open the doors. You want to kind of pave the way for the people following you, and lead by example, be a beacon of light.
all right, Jimmy. Well, let's kick things off with one of our favorite topics on the King and Chapman Show. Caitlin Clark, she's back in the news.
Of course.
Indiana Fever guard of the WNBA, Caitlin Clark, recorded the first triple-double by a rookie in WNBA history
Oh
in
wow.
a 83-78 victory over the first place New York Liberty and Indianapolis. She pulled down her 10th rebound with 7 minutes left. She finished with 19 points, 13 assists, 12 rebounds. That's pretty impressive. Jimmy, are you impressed by Caitlin Clark's accomplishment and her resiliency? She's had a lot of things thrown at her this season, and she just keeps performing at a high level. It's pretty amazing. What do you think?
I think it's great for her. Kudos to her to continue to get better. Again, she's a rookie. She's just learning. She's only been in the game maybe a month and a half, 2 months, with the limited training camp. So she's learning on the fly. And a game like this proves that she's talented enough to garner that number one pick, getting the first triple double for a rookie, and also doing it against the number one team uh, in the New York Liberty. So it's a testament to her and her resiliency. But like I said a couple of weeks ago, B, everybody goes through this. It's not just Caitlin. All rookies have a right to
That's right.
passage, but it's about how you respond. They want to see how you respond. The veterans, they've been around. They know the psychology of the game. They want to get in your head. They're going to talk smack. They're going to be physical. It's not easy. They're out there fighting every day. They do it every day and have been doing it for years. So they're not going to let just a rookie come in and shine or outshine them. You got to earn it, and that's what she's doing. I'm glad that she's putting her head down and staying true to who she is, and winning some games.
So first, props to getting 12 rebounds with Brianna Stewart on the floor.
Absolutely, because that's
That's
my
like
girl,
getting
Stewie.
rebounds with Shaq on the floor. So that's really impressive. Yeah, look, I'm impressed by the resiliency, because it's a very unique person that can go through what she's going through, right? Somebody that just keeps getting beaten up and keeps wave after wave after wave, pick, but keeps performing, keeps sticking through it. Now, why can she do this? Well, she had to deal with this at Iowa. She had to deal with this in her college career. She probably had to deal with this in high school. So she's built up a thick skin over time. So this probably isn't nothing. She probably doesn't go, wow, I'm so resilient. It's probably just who she is.
Hmm.
But it's a very unique character trait. There are a lot of people in life and in the world that can't do this, and that's what makes her special. And that's what makes me believe she'll be one of the greats, because she just keeps going, and it doesn't matter what people say. She
And if
puts
you
it out and moves forward.
and if you
Great lesson.
watch some of these games, you see kind of the sportsmanship that's being given back now. I don't think it's they're just still going to play physical. She's going to get bumped.
Yeah,
She's
that's
going to
right.
get hit. All of that. I mean, that's just part of the game. But when they do, they're helping her up. They're giving her time to you know tie her shoelace and get back into the game. Just the common courtesies that fellow or colleagues are doing for her is also a testament to her being resilient.
Now, Jimmy, uh, while Caitlin is just absolutely dominating, there is somebody else who's not letting her get all the shine and all the glory. There's the other stud rookie out of LSU, Angel Reese, and she continues to dominate and be awesome. It's a different type of domination, but she also made WNBA history, Jimmy, when she recorded her 13th consecutive double double, a new league record. She had 17 points and 14 rebounds, and the previous record was 12 consecutive double doubles by all time great Candace Parker 15 years ago. She's has 275 points, 225 rebound, and 30 steal threshold in just 20 games. She's playing pretty awesome, Jimmy. Do you think that Angel Reese could beat Caitlin Clark for Rookie of the Year?
She has a chance. She has a very valid chance to beating her out. She's doing some things that's obviously record breaking, just like Caitlin. And, with everything being, objective, she definitely has a horse in the race. Another stat that really blows my mind that I didn't know, and it mentions one of my favorite players of all time in the WNBA, Yolanda Griffith, will reach 275 points, 225 rebounds, and 30 steals in only 20 games. And the only other player to do that, to record those numbers, is Yolanda Griffith in 1999, who is one of my favorite players of all time. So she is on the right path to do some great things and make an impact, because I'm telling you, if you young players out here don't know who Yolanda Griffith is, please go back and look at some old film on her, because she was the truth.
Yes, exactly. She was great. There was some great players back. Jimmy, this is what I'm saying is these are two very very good players. This is where the WNBA is in good hands. They are in good hands for many many years to come. They have two fantastic players that are going to battle each other, and they're going to continue to do great things. And I think this is awesome. Uh, I think it is going to be hotly contested and debated. And no matter who wins the Rookie of the Year, somebody's not going to
That's
like
what
it.
you want. That's what you want. You want that debate to go on throughout their career. It's kind of
Oh, it's
like
gonna
Bird and
go on.
Magic,
This
back and
is gonna
forth.
be like Bird and Magic. You said it.
Absolutely.
This is like Bird and Magic. This is
And if you
fantastic.
think about it, kind of bringing that attention to the stage, coming out of college, national championships, going into the league. Um, Obviously, they probably won't be playing for the championship. That won't be paralleled, but just the hype and the impact that they had in the game can
And
be the
how they're
same.
impacting
and
individually
and the trend can keep going that way. I mean, the attendance, the viewership for women's college basketball, particularly the Final Four, is way up. Um, you know, it's bleed into the WNBA. If you look at their numbers this year, with records of sellout crowds all across the country, and also television viewership. So they're holding they're running with the torch right now.
Yeah, and they are trend setting, and they're making a difference, and they're really uh, bringing the attention to the WNBA, which is awesome. So Jimmy, we're gonna divert from basketball. We spent a lot talking about basketball, and we're gonna talk about football for a little bit, just for one topic here, because we're in kind of the the NFL is in the quiet period right now.
Quiet zone.
Quiet zone. But in about 3 weeks, it's going to pick up with training camp, and I bet we're going to be talking about the NFL all the time. So I'm going to try to give everyone a reprieve from it, because it'll be heavy, heavy, heavy NFL once the season gets going. But during an appearance on Pardon My Take, Joe Burrow was asked about how he stacks up with the other top quarterbacks, and he said time will tell. But he said something that's very interesting.
I love it.
That's what happens when you get hurt. When you don't play football, people forget about you. If you're not out there and people aren't watching, then there's nothing to talk about. I'm going to give people something to talk about this year. I'm excited about it. I can't read that question because it's so small, Jimmy. But I think it said, wait, hold on.
Agree with Joe that fans and media forget injured players.
Do you agree with Joe Burrow that the media and the fans forget players when they're injured or dismiss teams? And I've got a take on this, but I'm curious to hear what you have to think.
I do. I don't think they necessarily, well, no, they don't forget them, but they put, sometimes you could put unnecessary pressure on them to get back and not nurse the injury correctly, and then they go out too soon and get re-injured, and then that creates this kind of back and forth between the player or the team and the player and the media, where there's this weird kind of triangle with the three. And yeah, it can go a lot of different ways. Depending on where you at, the city that you're in, the organization, and how they protect you and or harbor you, or incubate you, or shield you, or support you. So there's a lot of different factors that go in to what Joe Burrow is saying. So I think it's very personalized, but I also think that the player and how they process these things have a lot to do with it. And I think Joe loves to have a chip on his shoulder. I think that's why he's so good. I love players like that, like like Anthony Edwards, that speak highly of themselves. And if you look at Patrick Mahomes, he does the same thing. Patrick, you know, is pretty confident in who he is. So
That's right.
so I don't have a problem with Joe saying that. I just think he's speaking from his heart and giving his personal experience with it.
Um, I think they do forget. And here's what I mean. So the Bengals made it to the conference championship. They made it to the Super Bowl. They
Mhm,
were one of the top teams in the league.
mhm,
They beat the Chiefs. They
mhm.
beat the Chiefs and went to the Super Bowl,
Yep.
right? They have forgotten all about them. They have forgotten, Jimmy. You look at the
They just
prediction.
want more. They haven't forgotten. That's
They
why they
forgot.
want more.
No, this is my point, and this is why I'm so successful picking the NFL, is because it's not really that hard. I like to
Uh-huh.
look back like a year and just kind of see what kind of team was this a good team, and they kind of got off track. They had some injuries, or this, that, right? And that's what happened to Cincinnati. Now, as a Bills fan, I don't like what I'm about to say, but the bottom line is Cincinnati is being discounted this year, and they're going to be good. They're going to be
True.
back.
Well,
Jamar
it's
Chase
early.
is
Yeah,
healthy.
it's preseason. It's
Burrow
preseason.
is healthy. T. Higgins is on a 5th year and wants to get paid. So he's
As
going
they
to ball out.
should.
I'm
That's one
telling
of the leagues. That's one of the leagues you really got to get your money, because there's no guarantee in that. It's all about your signing bonus. It's the
I'm
biggest signing bonus you could get. The rest of
I,
that,
I'm telling you, I don't like the Bengals. I want them to lose every game. But I will tell you, anyone that's sleeping on them this year is wrong. They're going to be good. So yes, I do believe the media and the fans forget about teams when they have a down year. And I'm telling you, I'm nervous. I'm nervous for the Bills about the Bengals. I think the Chiefs should be nervous about the Bengals. They've had
well,
their number.
yeah, true indeed. And I don't think I think they're looking over the fence at them too. I don't think they've forgotten about them as well. They
They
remember a
probably
couple years
haven't
ago.
forgotten. And the Bills probably have the Bengals have the Bills number too. I mean, the Bills just
Yeah, you gotta throw my Steelers in there now. Don't forget my
the
Steelers. We got the
Steelers
best
are
coach in the
they're
league
division
over there.
rivals. It's a little bit different, but so Jimmy, now moving, you save your foot. This is preseason, Jimmy. No pads. We're getting warmed up for the we're just the summer, so we're gonna have a little topic here and there in the NFL. We're getting warmed up. We don't want to go too heavy right now.
All right, all right, all
But
right.
what it is baseball season time right now. We're right in the middle of baseball. We got the All-Star game coming up this weekend. And Jimmy, something pretty cool has happened. 32 first-time All-Stars have been named to the team. 32. That's a lot of first-time players. 19 are under the age of 27. It really shows to you that the league is trending younger and younger and younger, and they've got a lot of great talent coming in. So the All-Star game is July 16th here in Texas at Globe Life Field in Arlington. You've got we got the guys like Paul Skeens and Bobby Witt Jr. on the team. And then you've got your veterans like Bryce Harper and first baseman Freddie Freeman and some of these guys, right? That they've been on for like 8 times. So you got some guys that have been on the All-Star game 8+ times. You got a bunch of young guys. So you got a really interesting game exhibition going on at Globe Life on the 16th. But Jimmy, looking at this numbers, do you think we have an emergence of a new guard in Major League Baseball?
Yeah, I think it's a natural kind of ebb and flow of how sports works. I remember in the NBA it being the same thing, a mix of older players versus younger players, and it's like this kind of gap in between. It seems like where you kind of it's glaring, and you look at it and you're like, oh my God, is this the changing of the guard? And my answer is yes. You got 29, you meant 27 or 32 first time players or all stars. um Many of them under 27. That's incredible. So yeah, that means that the young guys are taking over. The older guys obviously still have their mojo, but we've seen this in well, I remember seeing this growing up in many sports. So it's just a natural kind of change of the guard and ebb and flow of professional sports.
Fans love 2 things, Jimmy. They love the old grizzled veteran that's been along a long time, and they love the new
Upstart
guy,
rookie.
the upstarts that are proving themselves and making a
Absolutely.
name and that are the new hot name on the block. So this is great for baseball. You've got your Bryce
Oh
Harpers
yeah.
and your Mike Trouts and the guys that everyone loves and all these other guys on the Yankees that I don't know that are, the Yankees are the best players. And you're just looking at this going, this is great for baseball. Now, I stopped watching baseball in 1998. So I don't know much about baseball anymore, but what I know is that this is a good thing when you have a youth movement, because it brings excitement to the game and it brings excitement to new fans, young fans getting involved in it. So
And it's a different kind of look and feel. They might have their own, style. I remember years ago it was going from the long ball to uh, you know, uh, pitching and pitching
yeah,
styles
more
to
technical, more tactical. Yeah.
yeah, to the technicalities of the game. And so
It
it,
is crazy. Like
it's
when
good.
I was big into baseball, we were talking 70 home runs, 70. There's 3 guys over 65 home runs in a season. It was awesome to watch
Yeah.
baseball. The Bash Brothers. I mean, dude, you don't know who the Bash Brothers are? Google that, my listeners. Jose Canseco and Mark
Mark
McGuire.
McGuire.
They were just knocking balls left and right and probably using a little substance to help with that. But that's
But on top
80s
of that, they
baseball.
also had that it that mentality I
Oh,
love, right?
yeah.
You
The
get an
Bash
interview from
Brothers.
Jose, you can't
Jose
turn away, baby.
Canseco, Mark McGuire, Dave Henderson. Remember Dave Henderson?
Oh yes,
Ricky Henderson was
yes,
on those teams as well. Those are some good
yes,
teams, Jimmy.
absolutely. And I got
Well,
a
Jimmy.
Jose Canseco story too. We did a
Oh,
show in Vegas called
oh,
Renegades, and and he and he openly um is an advocate for steroids to this day. So he still takes steroids. He still is an advocate for it. He swears by the health benefits of it, and he's highly competitive, which I love. So Jim McMahon and myself went golfing in our downtimes in between the shows, and what was interesting is that Jose is so competitive that it's kind of similar to his sport, right? Swinging a stick, right?
yeah.
Swinging a stick. So we go out there. You got the football player, Jim McMahon. You got the baseball player, Jose Canseco. You got the basketball player, and me, right, Jimmy King. And we go out there. Who do you expect to like really fire up the links?
I
Jose,
would I would have said the punky QB, bro.
and he did. But let me tell you. But let me tell you how he did it. And this is why
And the
it's
only
such
reason
a
I
great
say that
story.
is, Jimmy, is because I've seen you golf.
Hey, you know what? Defamation of character, man. I could sue you. but this is what blew my mind. We get out there and Jim is so cool. He just says, he calls everybody kid. Well, he calls me kid. He's like, hey kid. He's like, hey kid, watch this. And he golfed barefoot the whole time.
He's awesome.
I was like, what do you do? He was like, this is how I do it. He was like, all that extra stuff. And he was smashing the ball. He was killing it. And it burned Jose up. I love you, Jose. I love you. But I know you was pissed off that day.
That is a fantastic story, Jimmy. And I love it because I mean, I grew up watching football. I started watching football in the 80s, right? The mid to late 80s. So for me, the punky QB was the guy. I mean,
Yes.
he would write the stuff on the headband just to get under Pete Rozell's. I mean, it was great. I mean, it's cool you got to golf with him. I can't imagine. I'm gonna have to hear more stories.
Oh, he killed it. He killed it. I'll
Yeah,
tell you
I
the
mean
real story why he wears shades. That's not just because he's cool.
okay, go ahead. Oh, you're
So
not
real quick.
gonna tell us?
So when he was a child, you remember those old guns that you tied to your leg and you played cowboy?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
you
yeah,
had
yeah.
to tie them to your leg and it had a little string to it. Well, the string got tied in a knot and he was trying to get it out with a fork and he slipped through it and poked his eye. So he got an eye
Oh,
injury. So all these years, Jim McMahon played football limited, being only to see with one eye, and he could only see half the field. That's why he took all those hits.
oh my goodness. And that makes him even more great.
Correct. He's a
But
legend. I was
that-
like,
that-
man, you ran out there knowing you couldn't see half the field and taking those hits and
yeah,
getting up every time.
yeah,
Yeah.
no kidding. Yeah, that's what makes him great. He was great. He was I don't know if he would survive in today's NFL, but man, he
Oh,
was
yes, he
really
would, because they
he was
can't hit you like they did back in the day.
that's
He would
true
definitely
actually.
survive today.
He would have had more luck. Yeah, but part of what it was that he could take
He used to
those
hand
hits.
off too. Yeah, he was doing a lot of handoff to sweetness.
Sweetness.
Coming through like, uh.
All right, Jimmy. Now we're moving along to the Yankees, talking about rookies. A big leaguer of just 3 weeks and 4 days just called up Ben Rice, who grew up a Yankees fan living outside of Boston, became the first rookie in franchise history to hit at least 3 home runs in a game. Jimmy,
They
we're
the rich
talking
get richer.
Lou Gehrig, Mickey Mantle, Joe DiMaggio, Babe Ruth, Don Mattingly, Dave Winfield, Aaron Judge. I don't know. It goes on and on and on. Derek Jeter, Alex
Reggie
Rodriguez,
Jackson.
all the great Yankees from that 1900s to now. And Ben Rice sets a record of home runs for the Yankees. Are you impressed, Jimmy?
Absolutely, I'm impressed. That list, the names that you just ran down is incredible. But this goes back to what we were just talking about, right? It's about the next progression of the people that are coming through. You set records, right? Steph Curry, we talked about this yesterday in the show. Steph Curry said records are made to be broken. It's the same thing. You got guys that just come out of nowhere. Even when we think, we're looking for the next MJ, Kobe, we're looking for the next Aaron Judge, Jeter, Reggie Jackson, whoever, DiMaggio, whoever. Like,
Dan
so
Griffey
when we
Jr.
get these moments, you got to embrace it. I love it. I love seeing these times. That's what it's about. It's about, seeing greatness and then trying to top it. It's the same as going to college and going to school, getting your education, right? The going to college and going to a university is about how you impact the theory. Everything, quote unquote, is a theory. You study theories. And if you can add to that theory, then you earn your name to be on the list of people who attributed to that philosophy. It's the same thing in sports.
Jimmy, I am with you. And I really hope that we're talking about Ben Rice in 5 years. There was a guy by the name of Kevin Moss who played first base for the Yankees in the 90s. And he did something similar. He had like 6 or 7 or 8 home runs in a row, games in a row. And that
That's
was
what
like,
made the
wow,
game
he's going to
great.
be the next great Yankee home
Yeah.
run hitter. And he didn't really end up being, I mean, it's hard to be a great Yankee home run hitter when they have the greatest home run hitters of all time in their lineup, right?
Right.
I think I left out Mickey Mantle, by the way, and all
Yeah,
that.
I think you mentioned, yeah.
All right, I got him.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think you mentioned that.
So this is cool. I am impressed, and I hope he keeps it up and keeps smacking those dingers. And this isn't the last time we talk about Ben Rice. Jimmy?
But that's even great though. Even the guys who are, quote unquote obscure, you never hear from again, or they just kind of have a pedestrian or average career, could do some great things. Guys in those leagues are great in one way or the other. They just need an opportunity.
Kevin Moss didn't have a bad career, but he wasn't an all-time great, right? He played
Right.
for different teams. So, all right, Jimmy, we're moving along to the Chicago Cubs. Now, here's a good one for you. Can we get that picture up, Nate? This knucklehead. Oh, I'm giving away, I think, my answer here. The Chicago Cubs placed right-hander Colton Brewer on the 60-day injured list Sunday because of a broken left hand. And he broke that left hand, Jimmy, in that picture there. He punched the dugout wall in frustration during the game. He entered Saturday's game in relief of starter Kyle Hendricks in the third inning with the Cubs down 2-0. He got 2 outs before being lifted and was charged with 3 runs, 1 earned on 2 hits, 2 walks, and a hit batter. The Angels went on to win 7-0 against the Cubs. He said, and I quote, "My intention wasn't to break my hand. I get frustrated and make mistakes. That's no excuse. There's a lot I can prove out there that I'm willing not to do stuff like that. Emotions get the best of us sometime." Jimmy, is Brewer passionate or a bonehead?
He's a passionate bonehead. I get it. I get the passion. I understand. We mess up. We're not doing well. We want to punch something, slap something, scratch something, do something to release that energy. But you can't injure yourself. You can't punch the wall. The wall doesn't move. It's immovable. What are you thinking? I
And
don't
you're a
care
pitcher.
how upset you get. You can't punch a steel concrete wall or concrete steel reinforced wall.
Jimmy, this is his moneymaker right
Right.
here.
And
He
that's why
took his moneymaker
it's a
and
bonehead
threw it into
move.
a wall.
Yeah, and now potentially you could have ended your career, or you could have, you know, well, he's derailing it right now, and so hopefully he gets back and he has a full recovery. But yeah, that's a bonehead move. That's a bonehead move.
Jimmy, that would be like me who sits at a computer all day, bashing my head into the wall because I sent a bad email. Like that, all I have is my brain.
Yeah.
I like I have nothing else. I don't have any athletic ability. I don't have any good looks. I don't have anything. I've got a brain and that's it. And if I lose that, I'm toasted, bro. So I ain't throwing that thing into a wall. I'm wearing a helmet to walk down the street because I want to make sure I'm okay. Like this is all I got. Like there's nothing else. So I don't know what this knucklehead is doing. So Jimmy, let's
Yeah.
move along to our last word. What do you got today, Jimmy? Final thoughts.
Last word. Go back to Caitlin and Angel Reese. I think it's great for the WNBA to have those young players doing what they're doing, setting records, being great ambassadors. You know, looking like they have the fortitude to carry the torch, and looking forward to them growing as young players, and them getting into that driver's seat one day and seeing how they then bring in the next talented group under their wing. That's what I'm looking forward to. And also, as a PS, if you bang your head on the wall, B, you still got something going, my brother.
What's that?
And you know how people say, like, you look better in person. You look better in person, B.
Oh, thank you, Jimmy. That is such a great compliment. You hear that, everyone watching? If you think this doesn't look good, it's like I go from like a 1.5 to a 2
To a
in person.
9.5.
2.5 in person. That is right. Jimmy, my last word is this. 2024, 2025 is going to be the year that Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills are going to exercise some demons on the Cincinnati Bengals and the Kansas City Chiefs. It is going to be a battle, and the Steelers are going to be in that this year
Yeah,
too.
it's
Now
gonna
that
be a
they got the
brawl.
quarterback thing solved, it's going to be a battle in the AFC, and the AFC is going to be tough as nails, and it's going to be a marathon, not a sprint. So you just got to finish strong at the end. And my last word is I do believe Joe Burrow will be back, but I think Josh Allen will be back too. And it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Thank you so much, Jimmy. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Peace.
Peace.